As you read in the title, I regret playing Yakuza Kiwami. Now let me explain why. First, let's go back to Yakuza 0. When I first played this game, I fell in love. I was immediately hooked up in the story. I loved the characters, I loved the world. When you play the game, you feel like you teleported to Japan and lived there. The story, which is the part we are focusing on the most in this video, and the gameplay, well, let's pause here. Gameplay wise, I don't think it makes it anywhere near my top 3. Now, don't get me wrong, it's super fun, but as I was saying, it's not my favorite. But story-wise, oh, I think it's definitely my top 3. Now, first, let's do a little recap of Yakuza 0. Yakuza 0 is a story about power, loyalty, and one tiny piece of land that everyone is willing to kill for. The story takes place in, of course, Japan in 1988. Two main places, Kamurocho based on Kabukicho, and Sotembori based on Dotonbori. We have two main protagonists in Yakuza 0, everyone's beloved Kazuma Kiryu, and also everyone's beloved Goro Majima. These two get pulled into a massive Yakuza conspiracy, all because of something called the empty lot. This empty lot is the piece of land that everyone is willing to kill for. To most people, this piece of land is seemingly worthless, but this land is the missing piece in a huge real estate deal, and whoever owns it controls everything. So we start with Kiryu, a young Yakuza trying to make a name for himself. He was one night collecting a debt from a man, and that man ends up dead. And now Kiryu is blamed for the murder. To clear his name and his father's name, or his foster father's name, Shintaro Kazama, Kiryu takes the fall and leaves the clan. To prove his innocence, he digs deeper and realizes that the murder was just a setup tied to that mysterious empty lot. Meanwhile, in Osaka, we follow Goro Majima. Unlike Kiryu, Majima isn't exactly free. He's basically a prisoner forced to run a cabaret club. To earn his way back into the Yakuza, he's given a simple job: kill a certain woman. That woman is Makoto. She's a blind, defenseless, and innocent young woman. And you might wonder, why is the Yakuza after her? And here's the twist. She is the legal owner of the empty lot. Are you still here? Are you still with me? Good. Let's continue. So Majima tracks her down, but when he meets her, he can't do it. She's innocent, she's already suffered enough. So instead of killing her, he decides to protect her. And that choice puts him directly against the Yakuza. And believe me, Majima and Makoto is one of my favorite love stories. Except for the ending. The ending butchered my heart. Now, how it all connects. Both stories collide. Kiryu is trying to uncover the truth behind the empty lot, Majima is protecting the person who owns it, and the Yakuza are tearing themselves apart trying to control it. What started as a murder accusation turns into a full-blown power struggle. Multiple Yakuza families fight for control. Everyone wants the empty lot. And Kiryu and Majima end up fighting their way through all of them. I'm going to introduce two more characters. Tachibana, Makoto's big brother. He is a wealthy businessman of sort who has lost Makoto, his sister, years ago, and he's trying to find her. He meets Kiryu, he helps him a lot, and well, he ends up dying before he even meets her. And his death was so frustrating to me because if only you didn't provoke that bastard. If only you were patient. It was devastating. It was heartbreaking. I feel like his death, or the way he died, was just for the sake of traumatizing you, I swear. The second character, God give me strength and patience, it's Nishikiyama. Akira Nishikiyama, and you'll know in a bit why I have so many mixed feelings about this character. So Nishikiyama, or Nishiki, is Kiryu's best friend, or they are like brothers. They grew up together in the same orphanage, raised by the same father figure. So they were basically family, and they call each other brothers. You know, what was the word? Yeah, it's Kyodai. They trust each other completely, and they share the dream of rising in the Yakuza. Now, in Yakuza 0, their bond felt unbreakable. It was such a beautiful bond and relationship between the two. Even though Nishiki was dumb, in a way, like he tried to kill Kiryu, he pointed a gun at him saying that dying is a way better fate than, living under the Yakuza's mercy. He told him that they are cruel, they'll torture him slowly, mentally, and physically until he dies. But he didn't end up doing it. Now, in the end of Yakuza 0, Makoto gives up her ownership of the land and basically ending war. The land was used in a redevelopment project, but the conflict around it has cooled down somehow. But Makoto never understand why she was so important. Why was everyone fighting for her? She never meets her brother. She ends up losing her memories, forgetting all about Majima who protected her and, well, loved her. And one more thing, her vision becomes better. And yeah, her vision starts to slowly return the moment she finally reunites with her brother, who was dead. Like, her vision starts to clear to her dead brother's body. Like, oh my god, they were trying to make it as sad, as traumatizing as possible. Such a cruel ending to Tachibana and Makoto and Majima. Like, I was shipping those two so hard, I ended up heartbroken. Like, excuse me, I came here for the memes. Why am I suddenly spending 3 days crying? But anyway, if I were to dive in the very details of the story, it's gonna be a very long video. What I'm trying to focus on here is Nishiki and Kiryu. You'll see why in a moment. As for Majima, he becomes an entirely different person. He becomes this insane, mad dog personality. And until now, I can't really understand why. From what I've learned, is because he is trying to protect himself. He didn't change, he just put up a persona so people will stop using him and breaking him. Like, I'm not really sure. But this man, oh my god, he also suffered a lot. The ending scene where he sees Makoto happy with another person, it was heartbreaking. Like, I swear, when I played Yakuza, I expected memes, laughs, like absurd things like JoJo. For example, the anime JoJo, like it has very unpredictable things and you laugh a lot at it. But in the opposite, I got a very sad but beautiful and interesting and unique story. I can go on and on about this game, but I'm gonna move to Yakuza Kiwami now. So Yakuza 0 ended in a very sad but somewhat satisfying ending. Like, Nishiki and Kiryu go back to the Yakuza stronger than before, their bond even stronger than before. Or so I thought. And it ends here. I was like very satisfied. I was like, this is a beautiful game. I can't wait to see the rest of the seasons. So I downloaded Yakuza Kiwami 2. I was about to drop it from the very first half an hour, but I chose to stick with it until the end. Kiryu is the only protagonist this time. Even though Majima is still there, he like occasionally shows up. And trust me when I say that I stuck with this game until the end because of Majima. Like, his interactions, his brief interactions with Kiryu brought me joy. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say that in part 1 and 2, in Zero and Kiwami, Majima is my favorite character. Fight me. So Yakuza Kiwami, or the second part of the Yakuza series, it starts when Kiryu arrives to find Nishiki had shot their boss. Yup, he killed their boss. Yakuza boss. And to protect Nishiki, Kiryu decided to take the blame for the murder, and he turns himself in to the police. And he's sentenced to 10 years in prison. That alone made me so mad, because how naive you can be, Kiryu. Like, I'm sorry, but that was just... I'm gonna just shut up and continue. Now, before I move on, there is a character that was introduced. Her name is Yumi. Yumi, Kiryu, and Nishiki were like family. They grew up together in the same orphanage, but Yumi wasn't really present in Yakuza 0. And, well, Kiryu goes to prison, and in those 10 years, the world moves on without him. When Kiryu spends this huge chunk of his life in prison, he gets out and everything is different. Technology has advanced, everyone has phones right now. In game system, you get a small phone, you get texts on missions and stuff. And when he returns, he finds that Nishiki is no longer the same person. And Yumi has disappeared. Nishiki has become ruthless, power-hungry, willing to do anything to rise. Instead of being Kiryu's brother, he becomes his, or one of his biggest enemies. Like, buddy, Kiryu made a lot of sacrifices for Nishiki in part 1 and part 2. He went to prison for 10 years, and you betray him? Excuse me? Let's calm down and move on. There is a child that's introduced in the game. Her name is Haruka. She's a very adorable, cute little girl. She meets Kiryu and she's searching for her missing mother. Her mother is Yumi. Now, the goal for Yakuza Kiwami is to find Yumi and protect Haruka. And also something else was happening in the clan. 10 billion yen were missing. 10 billion yen stolen from the clan, everyone is searching for it, the Yakuza, corrupt officials, criminal groups, and somehow Haruka is the key to finding it. Yeah. So in time, it reveals that Yumi lost her memories and now goes by a new name. She was involved in hiding the 10 billion yen. The money was hidden to keep it away from the corrupt forces. And meanwhile, Nishiki is also trying to get the money for himself. Nishiki, when I catch you, Nishiki? Anyway, everything leads to a final showdown between Kiryu and Nishiki. And the story becomes personal. Nishiki reveals why he changed. He lived in Kiryu's shadow, he was constantly compared to him, he struggled alone while Kiryu was in prison. Oh my god. If he thinks that that would make me empathize with him or forgive him for putting Kiryu in 10 years in prison. Oh my god. And the pressure broke the poor guy. He chose power because he felt weak. Now I kind of feel bad in the end, but the feeling evaporates immediately when I remember what he did. So in the ending, Kiryu and Nishiki fight, and after Nishiki is defeated, he sacrifices himself. He causes explosions, destroying the money and stopping the villains. At the same time, Yumi dies from her injuries, the 10 billion yen is lost. I'm not sure if that made everything worse, because he almost killed Kiryu and Yumi, well, Yumi died. The money was gone was a good thing, the only good thing that he made in those 10 years. But well, it happened. And afterwards, Kiryu starts a new life. He leaves the Yakuza world. He takes responsibility of Haruka. He becomes her guardian. So yeah, he kind of chose family over power. The next part, well, it's called Yakuza. So of course, Kiryu gets pulled back into the Yakuza world somehow again. I just started Yakuza Kiwami 2 and I think it's not bad. But Yakuza 0 remains my favorite. And I really wish I just stopped there and didn't play the rest of the parts because it was really frustrating. So yeah, what made me really regret it is because I thought that Yakuza 0 was enough. I feel like the story ended on a good note. My main complaint is that Kiryu is really naive. He constantly trusts people, even when he shouldn't. And he always walks into obvious traps. And always gets involved in things that he shouldn't get involved in. So yeah, this is what I think of Yakuza and Yakuza Kiwami. I'm not really motivated to complete the other parts. I don't think I'm gonna enjoy them more or even as much as I enjoyed the first part. But I'll continue for the memes because they make me laugh until this day. And that is pretty much it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe. It helps me out a lot always. I love you guys. Stay safe and bye bye.